We will now have the debate for District 2, Mr. Reginald Johnson and Mr. Albert Tarantino. Mr. Johnson came up first, so he will do the opening statement for 2 minutes. The timekeeper's down there. He will give you a 30-second and a stop.
Got it.
Go right ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Thank you. I got into this race for a very simple reason. Like everyone out there, I love the city of New Rochelle. And as a council member, I would do everything within my ability to protect the strong sense of community that we have in this city that makes it so unique. But in addition to my love of this city, I come to this race with a strong background in developing public policy that actually makes a difference in people's lives and makes government do its job. And that is being accountable to the people it's meant to serve and tackle the issues that we face. Things such as aging infrastructure and mapping out a way to rebuild road, transportation, and sewer systems. A growing senior population and what we can do to meet their needs and to support cross-generational programs and develop new programs that not only serve as recreational activities for our seniors, but give us an ability to have our young adults have a sense of community and a strong sense of who we are. And, in light of the recent Main Street incident, this is something I think we can do better at. Affordable housing. I don't want a city to where only the richest people can afford to have a place to raise their family. It is one of the reasons why I've supported calling for a specific set-aside for affordable housing for workforce and for essential workers such as police officers and firefighters. I strongly believe in the value of public service, and I'm proud of my experience in making government work on behalf of people. And it would be my honor, it would be my pleasure to put that experience to work for the city that I love, a city that has so warmly welcomed me in the time that I've been here. So thank you.
Thank you. Now, please hold your applause. We'll have more time for questions and answers if we don't interrupt it with applause. In the end, you can applaud. Mr. Tarantino, your opening statement, please.
Good evening. Thank you for having us here tonight. For those who don't know me, I'm Albert Tarantino. I'm running for City Council District 2. Little background on me. I'm a lifelong resident of the city of New Rochelle. I'm an owner of a business in downtown New Rochelle, Talner Jewelers. It's been there for over 80 years. I've been past president of the Chamber of Commerce, on the board of the Business Improvement District, Fund for Excellence in Education, among many other organizations that I have chaired. My reason for running for City Council is that there's a job to be done in the city of New Rochelle. While people talk about creating workforce housing for our police and firemen, I went before the Working Families Party for their nomination, and one of the reasons why they supported me was because of my strong desire to create workforce housing for middle class and working class people in our city. Our city, unfortunately, has become the tale of two cities. There's the wealthy and the poor. Growing up here all my life and being part of the fiber of the community for the last 55 years, I've come to understand what makes this town tick. And it's the working people of this community, and they've been left out. As far as the infrastructure of our community, it's failing. We need to do something about it. But instead of talking about solutions without good, solid backing of how those things will come about, we're going to have a problem. So what we need to do is work together. I stand for things that most of you in the audience stand for, and that is creating a strong, vibrant New Rochelle. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tarantino. There will be one question from the first question will be from the league, and then after that we will entertain questions from the floor. When you come up to the podium, state your name and where you live, and of course the question will be a question, not an attack on their personality or their what they have to say, and they'll have a minute and a half to respond. Okay?
Thank you. And thank you both for joining us tonight and participating in this event. The League of Women Voters recognizes that you will be representing a district, but you also have to think of the city as a whole when you deliberate. And our question to you is, what do you see as the most pressing issue in the city, and what do you see as the most pressing issue in your district, and just how you might reconcile those two if they weren't the same?
We'll start with you, Mr. Tarantino.
Okay. Well, I think that in District 2, the most pressing issue is right now congestion, overdevelopment on Pelham Road, where we're going with this Echo Bay project and how it's going to impact on District 2, the fact that we have issues that are traffic-related, environment-related, that are impacting the district in a very negative fashion. And in fact, one of the things that I have called for is I've called for an immediate moratorium of all building on Pelham Road to make sure that we can study what is wrong and how we can correct it before we allow another single development to go up in that area. On the other hand, in a citywide issue, you know, the downtown, which is everybody talks about redevelopment, we need to make sure that our infrastructure is properly maintained and built upon, which we're not doing right now. We need to make sure there's parking, and we need to create retail sales tax revenue by bringing in retail development, which we haven't been able to do. I live it every day. I'm on Main Street, and I see that we haven't gotten better on Main Street with the development we've had. It's gotten worse. Businesses are losing business, and their businesses are down. People are abandoning their stores in downtown New Rochelle. We need to reverse that.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson?
Great. I think probably the most important issue facing District 2 is development. And I say that because it affects so many different issues throughout our district, parking and congestion, how we have smart growth as opposed to growth for the sake of growth. For me, for instance, I have called for a difference between growth in our urban core, such as the Trump Plaza project, and growth that is heading or butting up against our residential area. I've been very vocal in saying that for that reason, I don't support the Church Division Street project. It's a 42-story project as it stands now, and I believe that the congestion and from a point of view of that and the impact it will have on our schools is something that I think I obviously couldn't support. I believe from a citywide point of view that one of the largest issues that face us is something that I talk about all the time, and that is the inequity and funding. We're the 7th largest city in the state of New York, but yet and still we rank only 19th in receiving state aid. This has real-world consequences, and it's the reason why I put a plan on the table that I believe will start us down the path to correct this, so that we can start to pay for the projects and the infrastructures that we need to make our lives better here in New Rochelle.
Thank you.